Passover starts at sundown on Saturday, and this year you can celebrate the holidays with wines for every taste and budget. Jay Buchsbaum with Royal Wine Corps is here to tell us more. Welcome.
Thank you, Teresa, for having me.
Well, it's a real pleasure, and I want to start with a question a lot of people have. What makes a wine kosher, and what makes a wine kosher for Passover?
Nothing. And that sounds great. No, that sounds crazy, but, you know, I just did a seminar in Port St. Lucie, and I asked the same question. Most of the time with a non-Jewish crowd, or even in a Jewish crowd that's not observant, they'll say it has to be blessed by the rabbi. In fact, that is not the case. The only thing that's different between kosher and non-kosher wine is oversight, so that from the crushing of the grape until the bottle is sealed, it's handled by a Sabbath-observant crew, or from the crushing of the grape until the flash pasteurization takes place, it's handled by an observant crew. That's the only difference.
And are you seeing any trends in terms of kosher for Passover wines this year?
Oh, yeah. Lots of great trends. People always want better. You know, many, many years ago, the only choice they had were of the Labrusca variety, which came from the New York area. And those weren't really great wines. But now you have wines, as you can see, from Italy and from Israel and from certainly California and even South Africa that you have in front of you. So there's a really great trend towards better wines and a really hot trend towards Israeli wines because they're so high in quality.
Well, look, no one wants to throw Manischewitz under the bus, but as you mentioned, people want maybe a more elevated wine these days.
That's right. And they're getting it.
So you said Israeli wines are trending, and is that what I have here, the Herzog Lineage Pinot? Actually,
the Lineage Pinot is California. So, you know, everybody loves California wine. I talk about it a lot. And I love the Pinot Noir because Pinot Noir, even though it's red, is a lighter kind of red. You know, it's a smoother, a gentler, easier kind of red. And when you're having that first cup at the Seder, it's on an empty stomach. So you want a kind of lighter, more elegant wine. But to your right, you have the wine from Darom. I have it here as well. And that's from Israel's Judean Hills. So that's an Israeli wine.
It's a beautiful label.
Thank you.
For the Cabernet. Would you drink this Pinot? You said this is good for the first glass because you're on an empty stomach.
Right.
Should we try it together?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
I only want this for that purpose. Don't tell anybody because they're going to get upset, but I'm probably going to have this wine as my first wine this year.
Oh, you can't pick favorites.
That's right, I'm not allowed, so don't tell me.
Okay, so what are some qualities in this wine that I should be looking out for?
Well, you're looking for raspberry notes, framboise, if you will, and also a gentler, not that big alcohol rush that sometimes some of the big California wines have.
Oh, that is so good. It makes me want to ask one of the 4 questions. What makes this wine different from any other wine?
Just the fact that its oversight is by an observant crew. And, of course, it comes from us, the Herzog family of wines.
So do you do the thing where you dip your pinky in for all the plagues?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. For people who don't know, wait, how many plagues can you name off the top of your head?
Oh.
Frogs? Locusts?
Locusts. The death of the firstborn.
Yes. That one always gets the headlines.
Wild animals. And what's interesting...
Lice?
Lice. Right? Thunder.
Good.
Thunder. But, it was kind of thunder that would, pretty destructive kind of stuff.
Biblical stuff. Well, this wine is so delicious. Where can we get more information about these beautiful kosher for Passover wines?
RoyalWine.com, okay, or HerzogWineCellars.com. Either one will have a wonderful selection of wines from all over the world.
Thank you so much. Next year in Jerusalem and L'chaim.
Ryan, have a happy and kosher Passover. By the way, just one quick thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to St. Patty's Day, as Jewish as I am, I become a little bit of an Irishman. The truth is, the same thing is true of Passover. A lot of people, there's a lot of ecumenical dinners, a lot of mixed families. People are just able to enjoy family and friends, whether you're Jewish or not, at the Seder. L'chaim, everybody.
L'chaim. Beautifully put.